away and get me to be turned, like do something really stupid. Try and drive it over a hazard that I could never drive it over. But maybe I got over by a yard and made a birdie. Now all of a sudden I think I'm going to birdie every hole. But if I hit it in the water, I don't care. So that's the don't care part, and that kind of I'm not proud of. You know, hockey, it's not a good thing to do. Well, I haven't done it in 100 years, but I used to.
Yeah, but like you say, sometimes it kind of accidentally is. Every golfer, every amateur golfer certainly is familiar with the fact that, you know, I've tried so hard, screw this, I give up. And then all of a sudden you hit that one shot. Once you lose caring about the result, you actually pay attention to what you are doing.
Right.
Instead of what might happen.
You're correct. So Joe LaCava, 22 years, was my caddy. So every now and then, I would tell Joe, I'm practicing. I'm down here in the corner. I don't want anyone to bother me. And if they do bother me, I will fire you. I will fire you today. Guys will come down. Davis Love, Justin Leonard, Greg Norman might walk by. Joe's job was to say, look, not now, fellas. That was his line. And then they would turn around. And some people didn't know me would think, wow, what a jerk. But I would go hit balls, and next thing you know is you'd be out there for an hour and you hit 15 balls. Hey, Davis, what's going on? Jay, tell me about what are the kids doing? You know,
yeah.
And then, you know, Joe would be mad. So my job would be to tell Joe, your job is to keep him away.
He's kind of doing that again, no?
Yeah, no, he's doing it very, very well with Tiger. But
yeah.
I didn't feel the need to hit balls for 3 hours. I would do it in stretches. So if you were my teacher and we came here, we would do it for an hour and a half. Then we'd have lunch. Then we might go chip. Then I might go on the golf course and hit 6 to 8, 10 drives on a really good par 4. And that was what Paul and I did all the time. We'd go pick out a really tough driving hole instead of staying on the range. And that's one thing that I really, really enjoyed. And then what it also did is it just helped me visualize shots. I can't tell you how well I started to play when I started standing behind the ball and seeing a big high cut or a low shot into the wind. And then I never even thought about my swing. I would just picture how I wanted the ball to go. It sounds easy, and it sounds like you should do it all the time. But when it worked, it was very, very easy.
Golf's a funny game. Tell me a funny story.
It's kind of funny because you had to be there. And I'll bring up my best friend on the tour, Davis Love. We're playing a World Cup in Spain. Somehow they flew us there privately. So we invited 2 the PGA Tour guys that work in the fitness trailers, just in case maybe I got hurt or he got hurt, or just to come with us. Thursday we play, and I tweak my back during the round. So we go back, and they work on me, and I'm like, I don't know if I can play. And so Doogie gives me a pill, which to this day, I think he gave me a wrong one. He thought it was an anti-inflammatory. I couldn't get out of bed. Davis is pounding on my door. I was sound asleep, couldn't wake up. He got me changed, and I was so groggy, and I got to the range, and I hit a few balls, and now it's, 8:30-ish or 8:20, and I double bogeyed the first hole. It's a 3-wood and a pitching wedge. Second hole had a pond right in front of the tee, like right there, and I topped it in the pond, and here's where it got funny, and I looked at him, and I went, wow, like I was high. I went, wow, and he burst out laughing. And then somehow, 2 days later, we won. And we laugh about it till this day.
He roofied you?
Well, Davis didn't, but the doctor did, yeah. And we flew him over there privately, and we had a good time, and we were doing everything.
Let's talk a little bit about your back. Can you trace it back to one specific moment where you hurt it, or did it just sort of gradually?
Well, the major time was in Doral. The facts, I was in the last group with John Houston, and I hit a ball, and I honestly felt like a grenade went off in my back, and my teacher was there. He was there on a Sunday. It's hot there anyway, but the sweat was just pouring down my body. I couldn't turn, and Paul came and got under me and was staring at me and said, are you okay? And I said, no, because it just looked like another swing, but it was like I was paralyzed. So I stood there leaning on my club, and then, of course, the tour guys from the van came, and they got me in a cart, and I went there, and I said, look, I play in 20 minutes. You got to help me here. And the guy said, you will not be playing. I stayed I got it checked back into Doral. I stayed there till Thursday afternoon. And honestly, a week later, I went to see a back doctor, and I was bending down, he thought, what just happened to you? I was back to normal. My body froze. I didn't feel good enough to swing, but I could touch my toes, lean, do everything he wanted me to do. And then it happened, maybe 3 or 4 years after that again.
Yeah.
And then it happened to me in Tampa during a Pro-Am where 2 or 3 groups, I'm laying on the tee and they come walking right by me and hitting. I mean, I'll never forget, a guy right there hitting. I can't move. And normally it's 3 or 4 days, just locked up, afraid to move because it hurts so bad.
You have your clubs a little longer?
I do.
Yeah, does that sort of minimize the, bending over?
I went through a long time where I warmed up with my rescue club, where that's all I hit on the range. I would just go before I played. At Augusta, this year, I never hit an iron. I hit nothing but woods, never putted or chipped. I thought anything that bend over would kill me, and I went right to the first tee thinking that I was going to shoot, 75 or 76 on a good day, but I kept getting it around, but I can do it. I don't want to have a back brace on. I don't want to feel that bad just to play golf at 58 or 59.
Yeah.
I can get through it. It's just when I want to play and it goes out, I get a little depressed.
Freddie, there have only been 2 other guests that I've had that we've had to make 2 shows out of, and that was Jordan and Phil. I think you're going to be the 3rd. Yeah. So stay tuned. There's going to be more of this, whatever it is.
Now you see why I've wanted Freddie on the show for so long. He's funny, he's got a great perspective on the game, and he's almost as windswept and elegant as I am. And even though we've already covered his college career, some of his biggest wins, and that green jacket he picked up in Augusta, there's still so much more to go. Thanks for joining me, FEHERTY fans. That's our show for tonight. You can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, and FEHERTWIT. You can also find more FEHERTY podcasts presented by Farmers Insurance on FEHERTY.com and your favorite podcast provider. Go to Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Art19, or Google Play. Search FEHERTY and subscribe. If you love the show, why wouldn't you? Be sure to leave a rating.